Hi, welcome back. I am Brooke and I'm talking about my weight loss journey through VSG surgery. I had my surgery on October 1st. Today is October 8th and I am a week post-op. But this video I'm going to be talking about my experience through surgery day and the day after in recovery. So as you can see, my room is a big mess. I thought I would just leave it because that's kind of been my nest area, mostly for bed. I haven't done a lot of laying down. In the past couple of days I've taken a couple naps, but I'll talk about that later. Let's get straight to, I'm not going to do stats until my week 1 review, and so that'll be in the next video. My surgery experience and what that was all like and what to expect going in as best I can remember. So my surgery day was Tuesday, again October 1st. So on Sunday and Monday I made it a priority to drink a lot of water, and so I had to hit at least a gallon of water those days. That was me personally putting that as a goal because my surgery team really expressed the importance of hydration before surgery. I had the first time slot of the day, which was in my head really ideal, and it turned out to be for me because I knew that I would be in recovery sooner and be able to drink sooner and things like that. So I drank a gallon of water on Sunday and Monday before surgery, and probably more than that because after I hit my gallon I didn't really track it. And I definitely hit a gallon on Monday before I could stop drinking, so I kept drinking and getting those fluids in. And so I had to be at the hospital at 5 a.m. on Tuesday, which meant I had to leave my house around, I don't know, 4:45, and I still had to shower with the, I forget what the name of that soap is, but the medical soap that they give you. And so what happened was Monday night my family all got into town. My parents live 3 hours south, and so they got here and we all just kind of reviewed what surgery expectations were and what post-operative expectations were, you know, if I needed pep talks or if I was down in the dumps, how to pull me out of that kind of thing. I really set up a lot of strategy in place. And then I took a shower that night, and with the medical soap I used Dial soap first, and then I used, well, shampooed and conditioned, then I used Dial soap, then I used the medical soap that they give you, and I dried my hair that night so that it would be kind of make it through the next day. And I went to bed on clean sheets, which is very important. And then the next morning I got up at about 4 so I could take another shower and put on clean clothes. And then my dad and I went ahead and went to the hospital and got all checked in. And I mean, that was pretty efficient and quick to get checked into the hospital. Once I got to my room, which wasn't very long, it was just kind of the pre-op room. So once I got to my room, I had to go to the bathroom in a cup, which I wish I would have known because I would have tried to wait longer because I had already used the restroom that morning. But I didn't have to have very much, so that was good. So I did that, put on my hospital gown, put on the socks, put on the hairnet, the whole thing. And they came in and put in my IV and made sure my stomach area was clean and prepared. And I can't really remember what else I did then. I had the anesthesiologist came in, the nurse anesthetist came in and talked to me, the assistant anesthesiologist came in and talked to me, and so that was all good. So really it was just kind of, we were waiting. My sister and my mom showed up, and we all visited for a little bit. Time went by pretty quickly, and before I knew it, it was time to be rolled into surgery. So my family stopped, we said a prayer, and then I was off to surgery. And they had given me a little something in the room before I left to relax me, and it was already kicking in, but I do remember being wheeled into the OR. I remember the temperature change, and I made a little joke about that, which I'm fine with cool temperatures, so it was kind of funny. And then we got into the OR, and the nurse practitioner that works with my surgeon was there, and I had not met her yet because she had been on a maternity leave. And I remember talking to her about her maternity leave and having her newborn, and I moved over to the table and asked everybody if they were a praying person and to say a little prayer before I was put out. And then the next thing I know, I was awake. I don't really remember recovery. I remember I had a friend of mine who works at the hospital, who's a doctor there, who came into the recovery area and checked on me, which was wonderful and just super sweet. And then, but I don't really remember waking up until I was in my room. So surgery started at 7:15. I had a hernia that was found during surgery, and it was repaired. And then I woke up and I went to the restroom at 10:06. That was kind of my time frame. So I want to kind of take a pause there and talk about expectations of post-op and recovery time, especially in the hospital. If you're watching a lot of YouTube videos, I hope that you are taking that information as just a piece of something that could happen. It's very important to remember that everything that you hear is just one person's experience, and every single person's experience is completely different. When I was watching videos and trying to learn what these possibilities could be, I really did take it just for that. Just, this is a possibility, and how do I psych myself up for the good, the bad, the ugly. That leads me into my experience, which I feel very blessed to have had. That gives you a little clue that it was a good experience. You know, I don't want to make anybody else feel like, oh, well, she didn't even go through it, you know. But I woke up, like I said, at 10:06. I went to the restroom and I think I laid back down then. And I took a 2-hour nap. Before I went to sleep, I had asked the nurse for, I knew I couldn't have a cough drop, even a sugar-free one, because the sugar-free stuff in cough drops can mess with your stomach. So he brought me some chloroseptic spray, which was amazing, and I could have that. And I think I could go ahead and have some water then. And so I took a little nap. I woke up and my shoulders were killing me, which I expected. I expected my shoulders to hurt from gas and things like that. And so my sweet, sweet sister and my dad both rubbed on my shoulders so well. And my dad, he was leaving, and I was so pitiful. I was like, don't leave. Well, I didn't say don't leave, because if I had, he wouldn't have left. But I was like, come back this weekend so that you can, you know, I was thinking my shoulders were going to continue to hurt forever, and he was going to need to be there to rub them. But he left, and I shortly got up and went for my first walk. So that probably would have been about noon, and walking was great. Like, everything was just moving so well, and I was just kind of shocked. Really tired.
Yeah.
But I don't feel bad. I think the incision where the biggest incision is the only painful one. That's where I feel most.
That's good.
Uncomfort. But that's all I got. My throat's really dry.
Your throat's really dry?
You feel dizzy?
I did take some pain medication, more out of pain prevention. Then it was a very low amount of pain, and most of the pain was in my shoulder, I will say, and my throat was killing me. So I would say that if I could have brought anything else to the hospital, it would have been chloroseptic spray, but I didn't mind getting that from the hospital. Also, whoever has recommended bringing Biotine mouthwash is genius. That really did save me a lot, especially before I could have water, just to have that going through. And you do get really dry mouth, or I did. And so that was really great to have. So pretty much for the rest of the night, I walked every 2 hours as often as I could, and I just sipped on water and kind of snoozed on and off. I had a good night. I think I put on pajamas that evening, and I brought a pajama top that was a button up and then a pair of shorts, so it was really easy to navigate around everything. I had my own pillow and a blanket. I did use my blanket kind of on the side of me to help prop me up a little bit. I wish that I would have asked the nurses the appropriate way to get out of bed, and I wish I would have had them help me learn how to get out of bed when I got home without having rails. So if I would recommend doing that. Let's see. So I made it through the night, no problems. I may have taken a pain pill through the night. Of course, the nurses come in and check on you, take your blood sugar, things like that throughout the evening, which was not a bother to me at all. I wasn't super tired, and if I was sleeping when they came in, I just kind of threw my arm over, like, here you go. And then I woke up Wednesday morning, probably about 7, and I knew my doctor was coming in later, and he came in at 8 o'clock. He and his nurse practitioner came in just to check and see how I was doing, and I had already made like 7 laps through the hallways, and so it was a big goal of mine to have, you know, all of this walking in so that they could see that I was really trying to work this program and make the best of it. And I know that that walking helped a lot. And they commented that they saw the board, because there was a board in our hallway where we could check off our laps. And so that was good. And they just told me how the surgery went, and that my liver looked really good during surgery, which I was excited about because I made it through the liquid diet with no cheating. And I was really happy that that paid off in the long run. And then they said that I would probably be sent home that day. And so, which it was supposed to be a 2-night stay. So the rest of the day, I think I sent my mom home shortly after that just to take a shower and take a nap. And then my sister came up to the hospital and hung out with me for a few hours. And we walked and watched TV and things. My sister left around 3, and I wasn't expecting the nurse practitioner to come in to release me or discharge me until after 4, but she came in like right after my sister left, and she said, you know, how do you feel about going home today? And I was so excited. It was a little bit earlier than I'd anticipated, even in the day, even by an hour. It seemed like a lot, but I was ready to go just because I was bored, not because the hospital stay was bad or anything like that. So we started that process, which takes a while. My mom came back to the hospital, and I had everything packed up and had already put on my clothes that I'd worn to the hospital, and gotten everything packed and ready to go, and walked the hallways some more. And then I was in the car by 4:15, and we stopped at Walmart on the way home to fill my prescriptions. And this is one thing I did that was dumb. I did forget to take in my pain pill prescription to Walmart. I thought that the doctor had called it in, but you can't call in narcotics. And so anyway, I'll tell you about that. But so I went into Walmart with her, and we walked around Walmart for a little bit just to kind of get some steps in, and I could use the buggy as a walker kind of thing. And that did make me tired. I got home, I rested a little bit. For some reason, I attempted some Greek yogurt, which didn't hurt me, but that was kind of ambitious. And then I realized I had forgotten my pain pills, and so bless my mom, she went back to Walmart and we got them filled. The biggest thing that I did that was really helpful was have heating pads through the night, and everybody has said, you know, a heating pad was my best friend and those kind of things. And I actually had 2 heating pads, and I had one on my shoulder and one on my stomach because my shoulder was just terrible. And if you can kind of see, I have like a pillow set up right here on the side of me, so I've kind of, whenever I get into bed, I put another pillow on my right side, so I'm always kind of cocooned in, and there's not a lot of room to spill out. And I slept well that night. I will say I only slept for 2 or 3 hours at a time, and I would get up and walk around the house and get something to drink and then go back to sleep and so on and so on. But that is my experience with surgery. I hope it's helpful. It is a possibility that you have a great experience. The biggest things that I learned was, number one, listen to your surgery team. Whatever they tell you to do, do it. So liquid diet, commit, don't cheat, hydrate, 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 and pray. I cannot explain how that post-op experience went, and I will go ahead and say that the rest of my week has been really great as well. So that is what I have for you today, and I will be back with my week 1 post-op experience later. Bye.
So what's the worst part so far?
My biggest pain is the incision, most likely where they took the stomach out, which is the biggest incision.
Time out.
My throat's real dry and scratchy. And I'm really sleepy, which I didn't necessarily expect to be that sleepy, where I had to wait so long to walk, but I did walk in 2 hours, and I walked to the bathroom before that, so far so good. Just kind of waiting for more pain.
What's your pain level?
Probably like a 3.
What'd you want when you first got up?
Water.
Water?
Yeah. And not just because I was thirsty, but because my throat was scratchy. And that Biotin mouthwash was so good. Really helped. So, bring Biotin mouthwash. Or spray. Day 2. The previous video was from right after I got out of surgery, or out of the recovery room, and I was really sleepy. But as soon as that anesthesia started wearing off, I felt really great. I am so blessed, so lucky to have felt so wonderful. I say wonderful, that might be an exaggeration. My biggest challenge is really just getting up and then sitting back down in a bed. Having to scoot over, things like that. Make sure you're not straining your abdomen. Just learning how to sit up. I was told that I'd be staying 2 nights, and I think I will be going home today, so that will just be 1 night. The fluids have gone down well. I've not had nausea. I really had the best case scenario. And so for people that are considering the surgery, always know that anything can happen post-op. You can have a great situation, but it could turn on a dime. And so I'm definitely prepared for that, just so that I can keep myself motivated and not get into a dark headspace. But it's just been a great experience. The staff that I've been able to not work with, but who are, my caregivers, are just amazing. Again, I started protein. I have to mix it with water right now, and it's really not bad. And my taste buds haven't been drastic by any means. I can drink Propel. I haven't drank it. And yeah, I'm just watching my time of what I drink and fluid intake. And I think the biggest key for me and why I felt okay post-op was that I downed water 2 days prior to post-op. I drank at minimum a gallon of water both days, and I think that just set me in a really great place. So that's my advice from the hospital bed. I haven't been very sleepy since I got out of that anesthesia, so I'm trying to maybe get a nap in, just because I need to sleep even though I'm not tired. So anyway, that's what I've got.